All right, this is my ultimate turtle setup. Water turtle, snapping turtle, a turtle that can become very large. As you know, water turtles are extremely messy, and I've been struggling to keep the water clean. So here we have this Tetra pressure filter, which I'll put in the description exactly what kind it is. It's got a UV light. This is good enough for a pond. It should be good enough for this turtle tub. You see how I got the tubes going out of there. I drilled some holes with a hole saw. That's my heater I have. Let's go inside the tank. That's the pump that pumps the water to the pressure filter. There's a flow regulator on this filter that you can turn and open and close it to have more flow. You want to have as little flow basically as possible, because here's the flow coming out. Obviously, if you crank this all the way up, it'll be like a whirlpool in here. That won't be too good for the turtle. That's the heater that I have. I'll put that in the description. And this is a 150-gallon Rubbermaid stock tank. And I'm hoping that this filter enables me to do a lot less water changes. UVB light, heat lamp, turtle tail, and turtle, also known as Chopzilla. He's a little over a year old. He's pretty big. Let me see if I can get him out of here. Grab him by the tail. Come on, Chopzilla, say hello. He's very heavy, but there he is. All right. See how big he is. The other way to keep the tank clean, of course, is as much as possible I feed him out of the tank. I put him in a sink, or I put him in a bigger piece of Tupperware and put some water in there, and then feed him in that enclosure. Then I take him out and empty out the dirty water if he decides to eat. The other thing is, once these turtles get to this size, over a year old, you don't have to feed them every day. You can feed them 3 times a week. That also helps the water keep clean. So I'll be back with how I clean this pump out, and you know, it's only been running for about a week, and we'll see what happens. Goodbye. All right, I'm gonna take this 1.5 inch inside diameter hose, and along with the clamp that I bought at Home Depot, what is it, 3 1/4, fits 3 1/4 to 1 3/4 inch hose. That should be fine. And we're going to put this hose onto this here back flush. And the only other issue I have to check out is that when I take this off, is water going to come out of this before I turn it to flush. The last time I experimented a little bit, some water did come out. Well, let me see how this has to work. So as you can see, when I take off this cap, even though it's not on back flush, water does come out. So we may have to shut off the pump to get this going. All right, I unplugged the pump. Let's see what happens now. Some water will probably come out, but hopefully it'll stop, as I need to get the hose on here without making a mess. So let's see if this stops after a while. Actually, I might have to break the siphon. Hold on a second. And there's 2. Okay, the water stopped coming out after I stopped the siphon. So there's got to be a better way to do this. I'll have to get back to you on that. Maybe I'll have to put a shut-off valve attached to the hose, because now I'm going to take This hose here, and actually this is the attachment that comes with it, so this has to go on, and then from there we could put the hose on this. Stick threads in there. This will go on here, and I'll tighten this up, tighten it up, start the pump back up, and then we'll see how this flushes out the water, what it looks like. But obviously, when I put this pump back on, even if it's not on back flush, it's going to keep spitting out through the hose. So I'm going to have to put some kind of a shut-off valve here. We'll figure something out how to correct that. This is the first time I'm back flushing it. And also there's supposed to be a certain gallons per hour pump used to have an effective back flush, which I don't really have that particular kind of power. But let's see what happens, and I'll put in the descriptions what kind of pump you're supposed to have to back flush it properly. Okay, we got the hose on there. You can see it says clean, and over here it says pond with the little arrow. It's facing the pond. I'm gonna plug in the filter, and if all goes well, the water will run through this tube and outside into the drain to do the cleaning. I'm gonna plug it back in, and let's see what happens. All right, so I plugged it back in. As you can see, it's working this way now. I didn't put it towards clean yet, and I'm curious to see if this water comes out regardless. I mean, there's not that much pressure, so I guess it's not going to show it coming out. But let's switch it over to clean and see if there's enough power in this pump to get this water to come out. So now I'm going to switch it over to clean. And let's see what happens. Yeah, here we go. All right, we got some water coming out here. Looks pretty good. And okay, we got the balls popping out. That's supposed to be in the tank. That's not supposed to happen. So that's interesting also. Not all of them came out, just a few. So there you go. That's something that I expect to happen. For those, the bio balls or whatever. But it is coming out, so that's a good thing. It looks fairly clean still. That's a good thing. And the one thing about this pond filter for this turtle tank is it has been working. I mean, nothing else even comes close to this. I mean, this is a little bit extreme, but this is really doing the job. You see I used the whole saw to put the holes in there for the tubing. And this has been keeping the turtle water the last 2 weeks the cleanest it's ever been. This has got to be the ultimate snapping turtle, big water turtle filter. I am also conveniently able to use my hose to put water back into the tank. And then I wait for it to get back up to the proper temperature again before I put the turtle back in there.